मैं तो दिल्ली में रहता हूँ और रेडियो फीजी बहुत रेडियो फीजी रोज सुनता हूँ.
रेडियो फीजी 2 देश की धड़कन.
In the news tonight, Sudhakar terminated as lands minister. Another alleged victim comes forward. And COVID-19 response budget to be announced.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Jackie Spade.
Ashnil Sudhakar has been terminated as lands minister. Attorney General and Fiji First General Secretary Aya Said Kayum has confirmed that Sudhakar was given his marching order by Prime Minister Vurengem Bainimarama this afternoon. Edwin Nunn reports.
The controversial former minister seen here leaving Parliament with his termination letter in hand.
He's been terminated as a minister for lands by the Honourable Prime Minister, which he can do so under Section 92 3B of the Constitution.
Sudhakar was summoned to the parliamentary complex to be handed his termination letter by Syed Kayum. For now, the former minister keeps his seat until it's determined whether he remains a Fiji First member or not.
Until such time as any disciplinary measures will be taken against him by the party. He has chosen to go down that path. And as we have already said, that there's a particular formal process that needs to be followed.
The party will begin disciplinary proceedings against Sudhakar next week. For 2 days now, the MP has been at the center of allegations of sexual harassment and misconduct after one of his alleged victims spoke out.
We believe it was not good for him personally, and also, of course, for the party itself. And it's, as you know, it's to do with sexual harassment. And as you know, that the Honourable Prime Minister, the Fiji First government is very much against sexual harassment. We believe in women's empowerment.
Sudhakar has refused to comment until the party's disciplinary proceedings are complete. Fiji First has confirmed that more women have come forward claiming that they too were targeted by Sudhakar. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
Another woman has come forward with allegations of sexual harassment against former Lands Minister Ashnil Sudhakar. Speaking on the condition of anonymity, the woman said she first met Sudhakar at a formal event in 2017 when she was only 16 years old. She claims over the years Sudhakar invited her to his home on numerous occasions, adding the way he spoke to her made her feel unsafe.
Like, his messages kind of traumatized me. I was like, what is he asking? Why is he asking me? And like, the words that he used, I did not feel comfortable with it. I felt sexually harassed because of the words that he used.
Meanwhile, the first woman to come forward claiming to have been harassed by former Lands Minister Ashnil Sudhakar says he made repeated advances towards her on different occasions. FBC News has cited a statement from the complainant that shows that she was allegedly harassed. Koroy Tandulala reports.
The complainant in the statement claims Sudhakar on more than one occasion made sexual advances towards her.
The onus is also on the minister of this country. He needs to remove himself from this whole thing voluntarily while the investigation is going on.
She further claims that she requested that Sudhakar attend a meeting with foreign visitors carrying out a multi-million-dollar project in the Northern Division. The minister later told her that she owed him a kiss for accepting the invitation. The woman, who is part of the legal fraternity, further claims that Sudhakar asked her to come to his house for drinks, and when she declined, he insisted that he pick her up and drop her in his official vehicle.
Given the current context, he should immediately step down in the interest of transparency and good governance.
The Fiji First government asked Sudhakar to resign amidst these allegations, but he refused, triggering disciplinary proceedings under the party constitution. The original complainant, meanwhile, in her statement says she fears that Sudhakar may be making these advances towards ordinary Fijian women who reach out to him for assistance. Koroy Tandulala, FBC News.
Some tough decisions are expected when the government presents its COVID-19 response budget on the 26th of March. Economy Minister Aya Said Kayum says the supplementary budget is necessary to minimize the brunt of COVID-19, which is crippling the world market. He adds the new budget will ensure that ordinary Fijians, businesses and large sectors of the economy are able to endure. Edwin Nund has the story.
The new budget will ensure that ordinary Fijians, businesses and large sectors of the economy are able to endure.
There are key expenditures that must be made to ensure the protection and continuation of the Fijian way of life. That includes our people's health, their jobs, their businesses and their food security.
Syed Qayyum adds the supplementary budget will introduce fiscal policies which will help all cross-sections of Fiji to brace against COVID-19.
Rest assured, we will be leveraging every channel of growth at our disposal to keep our economy prosperous, keep Fijians employed and keep our businesses afloat, all while putting our people's well-being first. Our economy remains under prudent and responsible management. We will not hesitate to make tough decisions.
As the true scale of COVID-19's effects on Fiji slowly unravel, the government admits that we are in for tough times. However, Syed Qayyum says years of economic prosperity have placed us on a strong foundation. Even as businesses start to report a downturn, the government is urging the private sector not to make hasty decisions.
Keep your people employed. So long as it is safe and sustainable to do so, keep your businesses running. This is a test of perseverance that we must prove strong enough to endure.
There are certain ministries that will require more funding, and we all know which ministry that would be, Ministry of Health.
The supplementary budget debate will take place from 6th April to 9th April. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
Businesses have confirmed they have no actual shortages in supply of goods, as industries usually stockpile materials. The matter was discussed at a private sector consultation on the impacts of COVID-19 on Fijian businesses. Lena Rees has more.
The businesses are safe for now. However, it is expected that in the coming months, some adverse effects on value chains may be realized.
Because generally, they buy their raw materials just before the Chinese New Year. They know very well that around Chinese New Year, the businesses are closed. So that level of preparation they had already done.
The Fiji Chamber of Commerce says there is a lot of anxiety and stress about the coronavirus.
The whole business climate has to change and shift, and we have to adjust, and costs will increase necessarily. And prices because of price increases. So those things have to be addressed. So we're coming together to discuss and see what can be done to prepare ourselves, because the real impact will be hit, we believe, in a couple of months later down the line.
The Fiji Chamber of Commerce will meet with businesses and policymakers next Monday to further discuss contingency plans in preparation for possible impacts of COVID-19. Lena Rees, FBC News.
Up ahead, country gender assessment to begin soon. An illegal immigration status forces Fijians to return home. Details after the break.
Natang ko aprosan ngarse, go erkraki. Do televizyon na parang na Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti.
Radio Fiji 1 nandomo ibiti.
The magnitude of gender issues prevalent in our country will be identified through the first ever country gender assessment. The initiative that will be rolled out by the Ministry of Women soon is also being done to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals by 2030. An agreement was signed between the ministry and a representative from the New Zealand government yesterday. Chasai Nanunga has more.
The initiative will not only help Fiji achieve SDG 5, which is on gender equality, but also highlight the challenges faced by women.
And if women are more visible in whatever activities they're partaking in this country, it will allow us as policymakers to make policies and programs that are more targeted to address the challenges that they still face.
The project is being funded by the New Zealand government with technical assistance from UN Women.
It is the very important work that needs to happen to understand what the barriers are to gender equality in Fiji, and to help the country and the ministry look at how to address those challenges.
And that will allow you to plan and budget and really target those inequalities, which will make sure that women get the full benefit of equitable services across the board in the country.
The country gender assessment that will be spearheaded by the Women Ministry will help formulate evidence-based gender-responsive policies and programs. Chosei Nanunga, FBC News.
There are claims that the issue of illegal immigration status in the UK forced many Fijians who served in the British Army to return to Fiji. Speaking to FBC News on the condition of anonymity, one Commonwealth veteran tells us he spent 13 years in the UK Armed Forces, completing several tours of war-ravaged countries, only to be told at the end of his service to pack his bags and go home. Maggie Boyle with the story.
Putting his life on the line every day, serving Her Majesty's forces, ended for this veteran on the brink of deportation.
We were told to tell your wife to pack her bags and go back to Fiji.
Dejected, disheartened and suffering with post-traumatic stress disorder, the inevitable marching orders were a cruel reality.
The treatment that we were given was not very good. They believe we were deserved. We seem to be back in the UK. But as the army, we follow instructions. As soon as they tell us to go back, we have to go back to Fiji.
This issue came to light after the unprecedented class action by 8 Fijian Commonwealth veterans against the UK's Home Office and the Ministry of Defence. They allege that the systemic failure and the complicated immigration process classified them as illegal immigrants.
I'm not very happy at all, and I do believe the treatment that we were given was not very good.
The UK government is expected to respond to a pre-action protocol on the 25th. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Fijian Broadcasting Corporation's Mirchi FM and Radio Fiji 2 teams have promised to deliver the best Holi show Fiji has ever witnessed. Last year's Holi event was cancelled out of respect for the victims of the Christchurch terror attacks. FBC's manager radio program Shami Lochenlal says it is a multicultural event and can be enjoyed by all Fijians.
Holi is a festival of colours, and we want to add colour in each other's life. That's what humanity and life is all about, to add colour in each other's life and not to restrict it to a particular Indo-Fijian community. That's why we have decided to go big and call it as our multicultural event.
We are really excited because behind mics we say so much, and it's always good to connect with our listeners.
Mirchi FM's non-stop Holi Masti will be held at Damoda City Centre in Suva from 2 p.m. to 7 p.m, while the Radio Fiji 2 Holi in the Park will be held at Subrail Park in Lambasa from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. The annual Thurston Food and Music Festival continues to grow bigger and better every year. Knox Entertainment co-director Inoke Kaloni Singer says in its 4th year the event is being organised in partnership with the Fijian Broadcasting Corporation's Gold FM. He says the public can expect a new level of entertainment.
Instead of getting someone from one of our bigger neighbouring countries like New Zealand or Australia, which is what we've done in the past, we've actually got someone from within the Pacific region. From the Solomons, we've got Jaboy, and Jaboy is a huge household name throughout the Pacific.
The Thurston Food and Music Festival is aimed at providing Fijians with a day full of fun and entertainment. It will be held on the 28th of this month at Thurston Garden in Suva. And with that, we now join Whitney with all the latest from business.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up after the break. Traders warned against price gouging. And in growing Fiji, developers benefit from environmental impact assessment clinic. Stay with us.
My name is Neha and I'm from Kadavi, and Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Leading business, traders have been warned not to take advantage of the fears of the public during the COVID-19 outbreak. The Fijian Competition and Consumer Commission is warning businesses not to overcharge consumers on goods and services. Chief Executive Joel Abraham says they will not tolerate any attempts at price gouging, which is the practice of raising prices to an unfair level, especially during a state of emergency. Abraham confirms one trader has already been fined $100,000 in order to pay compensation to aggrieved customers. The commission adds this should be a warning to unethical businesses that profiting from fear will not be tolerated. We now join Sanifa from HFC Bank with the latest from the stock world.
Upon opening today, Asian stock markets crashed as the panic-gripping world financial markets deepened. Even safe haven assets such as gold and bonds were ditched to cover losses in the wipeout. On Wall Street, drops of 10% in the Dow Jones Industrial Average and 9.5% in the S&P 500 were the worst for both since 1987. The Dow Jones futures were down about 0.8%, and S&P 500 futures were off 0.4%. In Asia, Japan's Nikkei stock market was in freefall, dropping 10%, while Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index fell 6.8% and China's Shanghai Composite fell 4%. Australia's benchmark fell 7.6% and is set for its worst week on record. The recent sell-off comes in fear of a global recession as nations grapple with how to contain the fast-moving coronavirus. However, all this saw the US dollar gain momentum as investors scrambled for the world's most liquid currency. That's all from HFC Bank for this week. Vinaka.
Here today's exchange rates are set this morning. After gains yesterday, the Fiji dollar slipped against most foreign currencies today, with the expectation of our two major trading partners. The Sanghamoli made gains against the Aussie and Kiwi dollars as coronavirus concerns continue to shatter market confidence. The commodity markets is falling. The price of oil has dropped down to below $31 per barrel. Gold was down more than $70 at $1,634 per ounce. And silver closed down over $1 at $15.47 per ounce. Developers are now able to openly discuss issues faced by them with the environment. An environmental impact assessment clinic has been set up to help investors understand the laws so that there is no breach. Apanisa Wangai Nandovu reports China Railway First Group has benefited from the clinic as they have been allowed to work longer hours in building the 18-story Fijian Holding Limited tower in Suva.
China Railway First Group was able to discuss various issues affecting its work.
We are glad that we were able to consult and we were able to come together to a point where we all agree, and that is how development has to. That is the development direction nowadays.
Minister for Environment Dr. Mahendra Reddy says they will help the investors wherever possible.
If it is outside this ministry, we clearly tell them that which ministry, where they need to go. And we will also facilitate by calling that ministry and say that this particular clientele is requiring this information or needs this particular endorsement or this.
The clinic was introduced after a number of investments were put on hold as investors allegedly breached the environmental impact assessment report. Similar clinics will be held in other divisions. Apanisa Wangarandovu, FBC News.
That's it from Business Tonight. Jamie joins you now with the latest from sports.
Thanks, Whitney, and good evening. And Sports Tonight. COVID-19 measures in place for FRU and Latu Yata Tame Lions. This and more coming up.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka, and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
The Fiji Rugby Union will take necessary action amid the COVID-19 pandemic to ensure the safety of its local and international players. At a recent sports symposium, the Ministry of Health urged sporting federations to defer their participation in international events. FRU Chief Executive John O'Connor says they are closely monitoring the overseas players, especially those based in Europe.
Yeah, we were in constant contact with them. They too are working with the clubs, with the Ministry of Health and the government in France, and the clubs guided by whatever the policy makers make. And so far we haven't had any reports of anyone being sick and so forth. From France or even England and in UK, we overseas best players.
Meanwhile, sporting bodies worldwide have postponed matches due to COVID-19, including round 5 of the Six Nations match between France and Ireland. This follows earlier decisions to postpone England and Ireland's matches against Italy. The Fijian Latui are aiming for top honours after losing out in the semi-final to Western Force last year. The Latui has worked on its discipline and is ready to kick off its global rapid rugby campaign on a high tomorrow. Venina Rakautonga caught up with the team today and filed this report.
A strong start to this weekend's match against the China Lions is in the books for the Fijian Latui side.
Last year was a short period, so fitness was not there. But this year we've got a month to prepare, and area of discipline, that's one area also that addressing the team. But everything will be decided tomorrow and see how the boys understand and the clarity of rugby.
Skipper Serupepeli Vularika says they will not undermine their opponents.
Our main goal is to win, because this format of game we just need to train for the victory and also for the young upcoming players. We know China is going to give us a good run, especially as they are coming from New Zealand, but we know we can beat them on the ground.
There will be a double-header this weekend, with the Fiji Warriors playing the decider for the WRPC, followed by the Fijian Latui opening their campaign for the GRR against the China Lions at 6:30 p.m. at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Venina Rakautonga, FBC Sports.
National commitments come first for flying Fijians and Fijian Warriors winger Tuta Wainingolo. The 21-year-old made his flying Fijians debut against the Barbarians 4 months ago with a performance that attracted some overseas interest. But for the moment, it's all about the white jumper for Wainingolo. Aquila Dama with this report.
Just 3 years ago, Wainingolo won the Deans for RKS, and today he is the lone flying Fijian in the Warriors squad, and there's no plan of moving overseas just yet for him.
Last year, few offers, but I put that on hold, focusing on this year's flying Fijian and Warriors and Latui.
Wainingolo, who is one of the seniors in the side, is playing a leading role in nurturing the younger players.
There's a lot of under-20s players in this Warriors team compared to last year. For their preparing for their Junior World Trophy, Junior World Cup this year.
The Nayavura villager from Rakiraki and Ra didn't play against Tonga A on Tuesday, but he is a sure starter against Junior Japan this weekend, and even the Warriors captain is wary of the Japanese.
Tonga and Samoa, both physical team, but Japan, yeah, they play smart and quick rugby, so yeah, we're looking forward and doing homework on that part.
The Warriors play Junior Japan at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow at the ANZ Stadium in Suva. Aquila Dama, FBC Sports.
The Windsor Wolves expect a fast-paced game from the Kaiviti Silktails when they meet tomorrow at Lautoka's Churchill Park for the first round of the Iran Massey Cup. The Wolves arrived from Australia this morning and are excited to take on the Silktails, who debut in the competition tomorrow. Felipe Nakaso has more.
Getting straight to business, the Wolves fine-tuning the set pieces at Nandovo Park in Lautoka today.
It's a hard one for us to travel international flight and come to Fiji and play. We've got a young playing group as well, so it's going to be a good test for us as well.
The Wolves are aware of how strong the Silktails will be, especially playing in front of their home crowd.
We're expecting a pretty fast-paced game. Probably like to throw the ball around, so we have to try and. Our defence is going to be the key for us. We have to our defence is going to have to be good because we know they're going to be fast, we know they're going to be quick.
The KVT Silktails are hopeful to start the competition with a win.
But you're obviously training here, you're close to Lautoka, you don't have to travel far for games, where these teams are flying in, staying overnight, and then hopefully they're playing in the heat and doing it tough, so it should be a real advantage for us, yes.
The two sides will play tomorrow at 3 p.m. at Lautoka's Churchill Park. Philip and Ikaso, FBC Sports.
The Nasinu Secondary School Under-19 Rugby League team knows taking on Ratu Kandavulevu School for a second time will be a much tougher challenge. The two schools' rugby league giants first met in the pool stage when Asino won 16-0 to claim the Tanoa Trophy Challenge. Aware of what RKS will bring to the field, player Sailasa Tusanga says getting the little things right will be vital.
RKS is a good team. See from their previous game to improve on our defense. And this week we are focusing on some of the small to make it a good one.
Fiji boxer Savanathan Aliba has received a huge break in his career. In a few weeks' time, he will fight New Zealand's Adrian Tahia for the World Boxing Union's light heavyweight world title. Aliba is currently Fiji's light heavyweight champion, and a win over Tahia is sure to open up more doors. Felipe Naikaso with this report.
A few weeks after his triumph over PNG's light heavyweight champion, Savanathan Aliba has now been given a golden opportunity. However, it will not be an easy task for the Sorokomba boxer.
I have seen a few videos of Adrian, and I know it will not be an easy fight. He's a good boxer, but I will just need to focus on my preparations and go all out during the fight.
According to the promoters, if Naliva beats Adrian Tahia, he will be ranked 15th in the world for the International Boxing Federation.
For Fiji, it's a history in Fiji. Yes. Savanathan, we request all the Fiji boxing fans to support Savanathan Naliva during his build-up for WBU world title fight in New Zealand.
But for now, the road will not be an easy one for Naliva, as he will need to prepare physically and mentally.
I've seen him fight Ndakwa. I took Ndakwa to fight him, so I know he's a very strong puncher. So it's not going to be easy. So we are going to, Naliva is going to go for a 1 week break now, and then we will get back into training.
The two boxers are expected to meet next month in New Zealand, with a date yet to be confirmed. Felipe Naikaso, FBC Sports.
Today's play of the day, Manchester United's Ardian Igalo scoring in a 5-0 win over Austrian side Lask in their Europa League last 16 tie today. That's it from sports tonight. Angie joins you with weather later on, and in new media, find out how COVID-19 is impacting the tech industry. Details after the break.
Bula, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka, and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Millions across the globe are feeling the effects of the coronavirus outbreak. The stock market has plummeted and store shelves are often bare of essential items. But some effects are less apparent, and one such industry is the world of technology. And Angie joins us now with all the latest from weather.
Hola and welcome to the last day of the working week. It's Friday and that too a wet one. Not a good start to a great weekend, I guess. Anyways, we're in for more showers, which is highly due to the low pressure system that is lingering above us. Now looking to the west, cloudy periods were very much present, but a great thing is that tourists normally visit this side when it's rainy. Try it out during rain, you will love the rain bath. Eastwards from Peck Harbour to Suva, nothing but gloominess. It's Friday the 13th, a little sunshine would have helped. And up north, who loves rain? On a weekend, none I bet. At sea, southeast winds 20 to 25 knots. Pretty rough, make a good decision. Now turning to the tides, high tide at 9:47 p.m. with low tide at 3:55 a.m. Sunrise at 6:08. For tomorrow, the weekend is quite wet from what I see for now. Heading out for some outdoor fun, take your umbrellas with you. Tomorrow's temps, Lautoka will be warm with highs of 33 degrees, quite warm even if there is rain. And looking further on to Sunday, there is more showers in the bag. Don't dull your spirits, chill out, it's the weekend. That's all from the weather world. It's back to Jackie.
Thanks so much for that, Angie. In Fijian Pulse, we asked, should Ashnil Sudhakar step down over allegations of sexual misconduct?
It is not right for someone in power to do something wrong and still hold his position. When someone does something wrong, they should step down.
These are the people who we look up to every day, and what he did is unbecoming of a prominent figure, and he should step down as no one is above the law.
For me, in my opinion, I believe that everyone is under the law, whether you are sitting in parliament or whether you are in the village farming. The law applies to everyone.
Step down, what is did is wrong.
He did it was wrong, supposed to step down.
It's like bad reputation to the people of Fiji. It's not a good reflection, like a minister doing that. So it's a must that he should step down.
In the world of the weird and the wonderful, a young artist commonly known as the Sneaker Mechanic has taken TikTok by storm. The California-based man is a lifelong lover of sneakers and decided to follow his dreams after the passing of a close friend. Recapping the main stories for tonight, Sudhakar terminated as lands minister. Another alleged victim comes forward, and COVID-19 response budget to be announced. Now for these stories and others, remember to tune in daily to our sister radio station Gold FM. Our poll question this week we're asking: should Fiji Sevens coach Gareth Baber start resting key players for the Tokyo Olympics to avoid burnout? Visit our FBC website to answer. And our shot of the day sent in by Isaiah Kumisaile from the Hidden Paradise, Savo. And you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email fbcnews@fbc.com.fj, via Facebook page FBC News, our Twitter page at FBC_news, #FBC News. That's your news for tonight. From the team and I, have a safe and enjoyable weekend. Bye for now.
Bola, I'm Miri, I'm from Lotoka and I love Gold FM because they play all my classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.